I'm Zach Miller, and welcome to Hampton Roads Business Weekly, and welcome our brand new co-host, Cheryl Tan.
Zach, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to contribute to this great new show.
And we are so excited to have you here, so why don't we kick things off this week with our Innovation 101 segment.
This is where we explore simple ways companies can bolster creativity in the workplace and help their employees generate bold new ideas.
I talked with Dr. Gary Oster from Regent University School of Business and Leadership about how companies are innovating by moving away from the typical cube space. Take a look.
For years, if you walked into a business environment, usually you saw what people probably call cube land. A lot of cubicles, a lot of people working behind kind of closed doors. Mm-hmm. And over the last 10 years or so, you start seeing open designs. You start seeing bean bags, stand-up desk, long tables with people working side by side. In a cafeteria like this, people working 4 at a time. Why is that so important and so different than the innovation that we saw before? Why is the open workspace environment helping innovation grow in companies?
Something recently happened that has never happened before in the history of the United States, and that is we now have 5 generations in a workplace. We've never had that before. So from the baby boomers all the way through, millennials, all these different people. And the interesting thing about that is that they work differently from each other. They communicate differently. What they want, how they're motivated is different. And one of those areas is how their office is set up. And younger people tend to like more of an open office, that sort of thing. Whereas you have the older people, like me, who want to have an office or someplace where they can close the door. So there's all these different needs, and really, to make a long story short, what an organization needs to do is remember that they have a market. They have people from many different backgrounds, sure, many different ages, and you have to accommodate those different groups. So managers and leaders are already finding this because they're trying to motivate, to encourage people from all these different age backgrounds. Yeah. It's not easy.
I think the key of what you just said was these managers and directors and C-level executives, they need to talk to their employees and say, what type of environment do you want? And if you do have 5 generations of these people, how do you fit all of those pieces into place so that you do get productivity out of them?
Exactly true. There was a company that I worked for in Michigan. Now, they'll remain nameless, and they had giant logs in the middle of their company in a big open room.
Wow!
And just cut open, and everybody would bring their coffee there and would sit down and do their work. And they got so much done, so much interplay. Sure. If you wanted something, you could see the guy over there, and you just go over and do it. Well, they got a new CEO, and he thought that wasn't the way that you should do things because it's just too simple, right, too nonchalant. And so he put everybody in offices and their productivity just dropped like a stone. So they were getting so much more done the other way.
I look at offices similar to an urban environment or a campus where you're trying to create those serendipitous moments where, hey, you're right there, I need to, what are you working on? Or I have this question, you can get that answer instead of having to email someone that might just be right next door to you in an office to do that. And so what do you think about the serendipity piece of an office and why that's so important to get productivity and innovation out?
It's essential that people meet with other people. And a lot of times, just in discussing things, they will get new ideas themselves. So it's one of those things where that's why you have, in some companies like Pixar, you have the bathrooms on the first floor. Everybody comes to the bathrooms, and they're always bumping into each other. Right. Same thing why you have cafeterias at Google, where the people actually bump their chairs against other people. They want them to be close together so that they can communicate with each other.
So at the end of the day, create environments so that people can get the results that you want. Create the platform so that if the result is more productivity, don't say, give us more productivity. Create the platform or environment for people to do that.
And engage employees in designing those platforms.
Great.
For some of you in Hampton Roads, I may be a familiar face. For others, I'm brand new. So I put together a quick video to let you know more about me and my connection with the Hampton Roads business community. I think I realized the power of being an entrepreneur a few months ago, at home. I'd been in television news for my whole adult life. From when my kids were very little, I was always gone, either in the early mornings or on the weekends, talking in front of the TV. And they never really paid any attention. I clearly couldn't compete with SpongeBob or anyone on the Disney Channel. But a few months ago, I was speaking at an event for Entrepreneurs Organization Southeast Virginia. It's a nonprofit group made up of successful business owners, and my logo was on some of the written material. My oldest son looks at it and says, "Mom, is that your logo?" I said, "Yes," and he says, "Cool." I don't think I've ever heard him say that to me before. What have I been up to in the last year? Well, for the last year, I've been on a twofold mission to figure out how to get used to a morning routine at home, what my family likes for breakfast. Eggs and sausage are a big favorite, by the way. For so many years, I was out of the house and at work while everyone was still asleep. Who knew it would take so long to get kids to brush their teeth and put on shoes? For the first time ever, I've been at the bus stop in the mornings to wave to the bus driver and see the kids head off to school. The other thing I've been doing, and will be doing for many, many years to come, is learning how to run a company. Since I'm consulting on a topic I've lived and breathed for 20 years, I figured I had it all covered. But there's so much more to learn: how to set up a business structure, how to find clients, how to serve them with the bank of knowledge I have, how to put together systems, how to scale and grow a company. So what do? I help small to medium-sized companies get to the next level of their business with media attention. I help them figure out how to get media coverage, and I work with them to get it consistently through all of the outlets available right now: social media, newspapers, television, radio. I never realized how much fun it would be to see companies you work with featured somewhere, but it really is. It's a great high. Why do I want to be part of Hampton Roads Business Weekly? I believe in this show. I'm so thrilled to be a part of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. It brings together two things I love. It's telling people's stories and business. The show is dedicated to supporting local companies, and we're going to do that by celebrating businesses and offering resources to those who want to get to the next level. And I'm so honored to be a part of this. Something we want to focus on here at Hampton Roads Business Weekly: the tools and resources available to business owners or those just starting a business.
And no matter what the age, the Peninsula Chamber of Commerce has started a new program, the Young Entrepreneurs Academy, which teaches middle and high school students how to start and run their own businesses. Take a look.
All right, so yeah, but it's not spelled like yeah, it's spelled Y-E-A.
YEA.
It's been around nationally for a few years, but you guys just brought it here this year. Jamal, tell us a little bit about the program.
Well, yeah, we brought it here. Our biggest thing about the program was we saw students all over the country create these crazy businesses. And their tagline was "Start as a student, end as a CEO." And once you hear that, you're just like, okay, what's going on? All right, so we checked it out, and we called all around the country, and it was a great program, so we wanted to bring it local.
Tell us a little bit about the program, how long it lasts,
Yeah.
and then we'll get to a very successful 14-year-old entrepreneur.
Yeah, so the program, it goes over the course of a school year, so about 6 to 8 months.
Yep.
What we do is the students come with an idea. Once we get the ideas pinned in, the student starts working with business plans and business mentors. They go on field trips all over the place to learn about how these leaders do business in their own right. And then they pitch to investors. Now these investors are community leaders who are coming to support the kids. And they invest dollars in the students based on their pitches.
So how did you come up with the idea?
So we grouped together, my business partner, Sigrid, and I, and we just came up with the idea of like us being girls, two girls, just with our product making soap and lotion and the scents, just bringing it together. It really clicked between us.
It's a great idea. The name of the company is what?
Delightful Creations.
How did you come up with that name?
We went a lot of back and forth on it because we didn't know if it was too childish or too, up. So we just went with something subtle.
You got a great smile. Your mom told me earlier that you guys just opened a business account. You put a lot of money into the bank account. You guys have 60 customers so far. What are they buying? What's the product?
The product, okay, so in a kit you have your 2 scents, and they're different scents. and you have 2 lotions and you have 2 soaps. And our customers that buy them, they put the scents inside the lotions and the soaps, and they make it their own.
So instead of going to the store and saying buying Ocean Breeze lotion,
yeah, they'll be making their own.
so the program's been going on for how long now?
Locally a year, but nationally
So you've gone
about
through the
8
whole
years.
circle, so we're at the
Going
end of
through
it.
the circle.
To see where it is today, to see her smile, to see the bank account being open, to
Yeah.
put money into the account.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. I mean, I can't begin to even express how exciting it is to see these students. Imani and her partner in particular were on the verge of quitting, and I was just like, no, we're going. You guys are
Why
great.
didn't you
We'll
quit?
make it work.
What made you get through that? So many companies quit too early, and you pushed through.
Well, when we decided that that we were gonna stop, it was Mr. Jamal, as he says, he was pushing us, and so was our parents, and we had to think about the further outcome than thinking about what we were doing now. We had to realize that you have to work to get to your success. So.
Some wise words from a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
What's the end goal? Where do you see this going, maybe in the next year and then the coming years?
We want to expand. We want to go into male products, and we want to expand not just into the lotion and soap. Like, we want to expand it into a more broader.
So you're saying I can be a customer soon?
Yes.
What are you going to make for me?
Cologne.
Cologne. Cologne. So if people want to find your product, can they go online? How do they get it?
We're building our website now, and we have, as I said, a lot of word to mouth and emails, and we're out a lot of places. We do a lot of public speakings, and we have business cards. So
Great. So hopefully that smile will stick around for years to come. I'll be able to try out the products soon as well. And thank you guys for being a great program here. And best of luck. What was the company name again?
Delightful Creations.
There you go, Delightful Creations. Crushing it here in Hampton Roads.
Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Time now for our Entrepreneur of the Week. With this segment, we shine a spotlight on local business owners to learn about the problems and pitfalls they faced and the advice they have for other business owners.
And this week we talked to Dan Worstell, president of Pyramid Roofing. He describes the problems of running a business that can be greatly affected by the weather and how he goes about putting together the right team to deal with those problems.
You know, they may go to the phone book or to the internet to look up, your phone number, but they're talking to their neighbors and their friends and colleagues and what have you. And so, word of mouth definitely is the key.
So Dan, you've been in business a long time, 29 years. It's been a lot of challenges, I'm sure. Tell us a couple of them.
A couple of the challenges. Well, the challenge that probably most roofing companies face is that the majority of our clients show up pretty much at the exact same time, and that's usually after a big storm, big rain, hurricane, hailstorm, something like that. A weather-related event, all the calls come in at once.
How do you find the team that will allow you to kind of focus in on those crisis moments?
Well, the team's the most critical part of the business. We have to put the best team on the field there, and so we're constantly searching for new people. And when we find good ones, we hang on to them. We treat the employees well, and we're not much of anything without the right team and the right staff.
Sure. You said over the last 30 years that you've been in business, things have changed. The way that people get their media is different. Before it used to be Yellow Book, now it's a very different way. How have you guys kind of run with the punches to stay on top of the industry as the internet has changed, as the way people get their media is different?
Well, I think it depends on what type of business you're in, but for roofing, I just feel like that most people, they want a referral. They want to, they may go to the phone book or to the internet to look up, your phone number, but they're talking to their neighbors and their friends and colleagues and what have you. And so, word of mouth definitely is the key. So, my team, they understand that it's extremely important to over-deliver and give them more than they expect, to deliver that wow, and treat them in such a way that they're just going to want to tell their friends and neighbors, hey, this is the guy you need to call.
Sure, and I think you have something really unique with the win-win-win idea as kind of 3 tips for business owners and entrepreneurs out there. Tell us a little bit about win-win-win.
Well, when we elected to make a deep commitment to grow our company, we adopted the win-win-win strategy. Obviously, the customer has to win. That seems like that would be first. But how does the customer win if you don't have a winning team to go out there and deliver?
Right.
And so you have to, your employees have to buy in. They have to know that if they deliver and they treat that client well and they give them more than they expected and brought a memorable experience to them, it's more than just shingles and an invoice. We want to be friends with these people. And if the customer wins, obviously the company's going to win. They're going to refer us, and when the company wins, that's when it's a win for the employees. So it's hard to say which one goes first, but they all work together.
All very, very important.
Yes.
Dan, congratulations on being Entrepreneur of the Week, and best of luck with business moving forward over the next 29 years.
Awesome. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.
What's the one thing you wish you would have known before starting a business?
Or the one thing you need to have before expanding your company.
We wanted to know what that one piece of advice local business owners would give to both up-and-comers and to established owners.
It is called The One Thing, and that's coming up next. Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. I'm Cheryl Tan with a new segment, The One Thing. The one thing that entrepreneurs do that lead to business success. Today we're talking with Cindy Rausch, the owner of the Skinny Dip. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're here at your Pembroke location, and it's one of 9 stores that you have. But I'm going to start with one question that I had for you, and I know you get this a lot, that I'm surprised that this is a Virginia Beach born store.
Yes, my very first store was at Lansdowne Commons. I went to San Diego, visited a yogurt shop, and said, I can do that. I can do that better. So I went down to Lansdowne and saw that there was a brand new shopping center open, called the broker that had her number plastered on the window, and I said, I'd like to open a yogurt shop. And she said, who are you? I'm like, nobody now, but I'll be somebody.
And you had all these grand dreams, but I know that there were some challenges on the way.
I thought that it'd be so easy to just go get a business loan. My family, we have good credit. Being a minority, I thought I'd have a little edge to be able to get a business loan that way. Being a woman-owned business, I saw a lot of doors closing on me. So I had to tap into other things, family, put a second mortgage on my home, sell a car and get a cheaper car. I had to do everything I could. I even took my kids' college funds and used those too.
You started off with one store in Lansdowne, in Virginia Beach, and you've grown it to 9. When did you realize it was time to get another store? I mean, as opposed to sort of sticking with the one you had to get more.
It was a no-brainer also. We were always packed. We ended up pulling cash registers and putting them on makeshift tables. We outgrew our space, so we had to make another space, and our first opportunity was in Hilltop by the new Trader Joe's. So that was opened April of 2009, less than a year from the first store.
And now you're moving into franchising, something completely different.
That again was the customer saying, I want a Skinny Dip. And we were just a mom and pop yogurt shop. You can't just sell a Skinny Dip to someone. So after so many people kept asking us about wanting a Skinny Dip, loving our brand, my family, my husband and me, we said, we should do this. We have something here. So we talked to our lawyer and made the Skinny Dip a franchise business.
I want to ask you the one thing then. What is the one thing you think has led to your business success to help you to grow from one little store in Lansdowne in Virginia Beach to a franchise system now?
My number one thing, the one thing I think is the most important thing, is customer service. It doesn't matter how great that bowl of frozen yogurt tastes. It doesn't matter how nice my chair looks or what color the paint is on the wall. If my team doesn't treat the customer like they're the one thing, they're the most important thing. Without them, we're nothing. And I've had bad experiences at places that, you know, everything was great except the person who was helping us. And that can really turn, there's too many other choices to go to. So my team, we have customer service training. We talk about, you know, we answer the phone a certain way. When people come in, we greet them a certain way. We want it to be the Skinny Dip way.
Awesome. Cindy Rausch, thank you very much for joining us today.
Let's talk social media. Each week, we'll focus on tips and trends you can use right now for your business. This week, video marketing with Hampton Roads Business Weekly's social media expert, Naoma Doraguzzi.
This week I want to talk about video marketing. Sometimes business owners can be overwhelmed. In order to compete with the big businesses, video marketing is a great tool to use to make yourself stand out from the competition, kind of be more personable. I know a lot of people get intimidated. You know, we have a camera crew here. You don't need to have expensive equipment to do video marketing. You can even use it from your smartphone. So again, just practice with it. You can use a lot of tools behind the scenes. Again, you can use, one thing you can do is make sure you optimize your videos. So that means having a good title, having a good description with it, post them on Facebook, post them on YouTube, and then again, share those with on all your social media profiles and networks. Make sure though, one good tip is to have good audio. You don't want people to leave because they can't hear what you're saying. So that's the one thing that I would strongly suggest that you have when you're producing videos for social media marketing. So just practice, have fun with it, and it'll make yourself be more personal so you can be more engaging on all the social media.
That's it for this week's Hampton Roads Business Weekly. You can find the show on Facebook and Twitter at HR Business Weekly or at hrbusinessweekly.com. For Hampton Roads Business Weekly, I'm Cheryl Tan.
And I'm Zach Miller. See you next week.